Hey players, we are live here at Right Now. For those of you guys that are new here and this is your first video, my name is Josh, and every single Monday through Friday I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. So I'm here live at Vidcon. I just touring around, some time in between a panel right now, so I wanted to jump on here. It's going to be my Thursday live stream now. Normally I go on at like 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern, but because I'm over here in California, it's about 1 o'clock right now. No, it's not 1 o'clock yet. It's like 12 o'clock. I'm going to stay until about 1 p.m. here, so maybe 50 minutes or so, just to talk to you guys, see what's up. A bunch of people here in the chat. What is up, everyone? Just trying to get myself configured here. How can I hold this? All right, I'll hold it like this. And yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm here answering questions, anything that's on your mind. I want to know what you guys are struggling with. What are you guys thinking about? What's kind of on your minds right now? It's 12 on the West Coast. Yeah, it's 12 right now. I'm so confused with times. Let me face the light. This is a lot better. Let's go sit over here for a bit. But yeah, guys, VidCon is really cool. I'm meeting a lot of cool people, seeing a lot of cool things, just really enjoying it. Here. And let's see. Hey, it's your birthday, pickle and juice. I should probably hold that better. Let me set this up here. All right, there we go. I need my camera tripod, not my phone tripod. Pickle juice, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Never see my crush again. Congratulations. Oh my god. I can't hold this. Alright. It's very blurry. I apologize if it's blurry. I don't know if I have bad service here. Is it blurry for anyone else? Does anyone else here have bad service? Let me know. Or if anyone else is seeing it blurry. So, yeah. So, Ariani Garcia says, never see my crush again. He graduated. So, that's fine. Move away from the outlet in case someone wants to use it. So yeah, I mean, that's the tough part with crushes graduating, that you have to kind of accept the fact that you're not going to see them again. It's important to kind of just, move on and be able to say, you know what, I'm going to look for someone new, I'm going to talk to someone new. For everyone that's blurry right now, I apologize. I don't know if the signal in here is bad or not. Probably is, but I'm deleting my channel. Says you're amazing at YouTube, you're rocking, keep it up. Thank you, man. Curious though, why are you deleting your YouTube channel? That's what I want to know. But Austin says, I have ADD and social anxiety and I feel like no one likes me. What should I do? So, an interesting thing about that, Austin, is that a lot of the times when we feel like people don't like us, the main reason is because, we haven't really explored or talked to people enough to really give them a chance to get to know us, right? So if you feel like people don't like you for certain things, whether it's your anxiety, whether it's ADD or things like that, then the best thing really to do is to take time out and to say, okay, who are the 5 people that I do want to get to know, that I really am interested in learning more about, and try to develop a deeper connection with those 5 people. Sometimes we look at 100 people in our school and we think, well, no one likes me, everyone sucks. But the best thing to do really is to just say, like, who are select people that I want to get to know better, make the time to get to know them a little bit better, and then that way you'll be able to, you'll really start to see that it's not really so much that people don't like you, it's that people don't really know a lot about you. So you definitely want to take the time to get to know them better, and for them to get to know you better as well. Are you going to do an Insta after party later today? I might do one later today. There's a creator meetup, so I'm definitely going to, maybe I'll do that. I'll do the Instagram live party at the creator meetup. That'd be pretty cool. But the chat just disappeared. Let's see. So Young Stonebreaker says, what are some things you can't do around your crush? That's an interesting question. What are some things you can't do or you probably shouldn't do around your crush? I made a video a while ago all about 5 weird things that guys do that creep girls out. So those 5 things are that. But I think off the top of my head, things you probably shouldn't do around your crush are, I would say you don't want to call attention or say something as awkward. So like, oh, this is awkward right now, or it's weird talking to you. You don't want to kind of label something that isn't labeled so that they start to look at it that way. So what I mean by that is like, basically just saying to yourself like, okay, well, if things are undefined and there's just this air of mystery to me talking to my crush, then they don't know exactly what it is. You don't know exactly what it is. But the moment you say like, oh, it's weird, she or he might say, yeah, actually it is weird. I didn't think it was weird, but now it's weird. S Soda Pop wants to know where I am right now. I'm at VidCon. Let me give you guys a quick tour. This is the Building World of Creator panels are being held. So There's a lot of creator related stuff. Maybe I'll take you guys inside in a little bit. Yeah. Let's see. Jake Paul says, what do I do? Let's see. What do I do to make friends? Team 10 is losing people every day, bro. Yeah, Jake Paul. I mean, the thing is, it's like when it comes to making friends, there's two pieces. There's the piece where it's like you're friends with people because you guys share common interests or you both like the same things. And then there's the type of friends where you guys develop friendship through experiences together. So it isn't so much like, oh, we both like football, we both like the same football team, and that's that. It's developed experience, meaning like, wow, we both went through the 7th grade together and that's what connected us. Or, oh, we both went to the same summer camp and that's what we shared. So you might want to think about how you can grow your friend group in those two areas. Think about the people that you're having shared experiences with, and then really dive deeper into getting to learn more about them and seeing how much you guys can really learn from each other about your own interpretation and experience. So it's summertime for a lot of you guys now. You know, how many of you guys are going to go travel somewhere for the summer? Maybe reach out to people that you know and ask them, hey, are you traveling anywhere? Like, my family's going here. Have you it's getting louder, more people are coming in. See, I get unsettled in being in class. I get unsettled in being in class. Please help me. So Aman, I think if being in class makes you feel a bit restless or uncomfortable, you might want to practice, I think, different meditation techniques. I think that would be helpful. It'd be helpful in a way where if you're in class and you start to feel nervous or anxious or anything like that, in that moment will help you kind of manage those situations better. It'll help you lessen your anxiety, lessen your fear. If you find yourself overthinking, focusing on your breath will give you something to think about other than things going wrong. Let's see. Elizabeth Taskinen says, I'm going to middle school. Any advice? Definitely. I have lots of advice. I have a video called 5 things every middle school graduate should know. But I also have a playlist of videos, the ultimate guide for middle school. They should definitely check out. But just off the top of my head, advice for middle school is that it's going to be way different from elementary school. With middle school comes, older kids and a different kind of mindset, and middle school kids are they're focused on different things than elementary school kids are. So for example, in middle school, people are going to be interested in the idea of dating, or they might start to have crushes on people. The schoolwork is going to be a little bit more difficult, and ultimately you're going to start noticing changes in your own body, and then the way that you see things, the way that you act, the way that you feel. So like Anthony said, middle school is more responsibility, definitely more responsibility in the mix. There's going to be a lot that's going to change for you. So be open and ready for that change. Don't look at it as something that's negative or something that's going to be too hard for you to deal with, because it is possible for you to work through it. Let's see. Pro Clone Play says, how do I forgive my middle school bully? Or how to not feel hate towards this person? That's an interesting question. The power of forgiveness is super important, guys, and learning how to forgive the people that have wronged us or hurt us is an incredibly difficult thing to do at times. And what makes it so hard is that, when we think about these people, when we think about the moments and experiences that we shared with them, they're not pleasant experiences. They're hurtful experiences. Sometimes they could be traumatic experiences. If someone bullied you or called you a name or made fun of you for something, it could be so difficult to look past that. But the strongest thing that you can do is to develop the courage to look past it. Because if you spend a lot of your time harboring anger and hate, it's wasted energy, because that anger and hate doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't translate into anything. It doesn't make you feel better. It doesn't help that other person stop bullying. It doesn't do anything. So what you want to do is you want to work on transferring that negative energy into positive energy. So one thing you might want to be able to do when it comes to that bully is to look at their circumstances and their situations. What led them to bully you? What led them to feel that way? What led them to act like that? Most often when people resort to bullying, it's because they lack their own level of self-awareness, meaning they're not aware of how their actions are affecting other people, and they lack the level of confidence, meaning they're not confident in who they are, And because they're not confident in who they are, they want to shift the attention and focus to other people. It's easier to make fun of people and to attack them and belittle them because it means you're not spending that time reflecting on yourself and how you can grow and learn. Let's see. So the Krista Litton says, Josh, what would you do if your name is Joshi? So some people call me Joshi, I guess is a nickname. If my name is Joshi, I think I'd be a whole different person. I would. thejoshspeaks. I don't think that flows as well. Let's see. Hirishkesh Future Boy says, I'm changing towns. I was here for 10 years now, no friends, and the school I'm going to does not allow phones, so no connection with friends. What do I do? Ooh, that's tough. It's tough when you're going to a new environment and it's going to be a whole new experience for you, and you may not be ready for it. You may not be prepared in some way. So here's what I think. I think that if you're going to be in the new environment, you might still have the opportunity to communicate with friends outside of school. Maybe that's if you could talk to them online or message them or something like that. But ultimately, you may want to focus on developing new friends. Now, I have a video all about how to be the new kid at school, and in that video, I go in depth on why being the new kid is actually a really good thing for you. Because when you're new somewhere and you start in school for the first time at a new place, you have the opportunity to craft the perspective of others. Meaning, no one knows who you are, so they're going to go and determine how they view you based on how you present yourself. So something you may want to work on before you start at the new school, or if you're already going to start at the new school, is you may want to just take the time to really just focus on building your confidence, being comfortable talking about the things that you like and your hobbies, your interests. And then when you meet new kids in your school or you see them, don't hesitate to walk up to them and introduce yourself. Kids are very, very forgiving with new kids. Like, no one looks at a new kid that doesn't know where they are, doesn't know anything, and says, ugh, you should already know. We expect that from new kids. We expect new kids to be new to the game. And you can use that to your advantage by simply approaching people and saying, hey, I'm new here. Where is this room? How do I get here? What are some good places to grab food? You can implement all those different questions. And because you're new, it's kind of acceptable. Someone asked, how's VidCon going? VidCon has been amazing so far. I've run into a bunch of creators that I highly admire and stuff. I haven't run into any fans yet. I spend most of my time kind of on the creator floor where a lot of creators are, so I think people are more, like a lot of the more YouTube fans are more in the community area, which is a whole different building. They kind of separated. So I haven't really run into anyone yet. Maybe when I go grab food, I might run into people. We'll see what happens. JH Vlog says, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. I'm excited about VidCon. I'm having a good time here. I'm waiting for the next panel. I went to an education panel earlier, and I asked the question because I've spoken to a lot of you guys. So for those of you that don't already know, I've written a book called Embracing the Awkward, and it's a guide for teens to succeed at school, life, and relationships. If you already knew about the book, I'm curious to know who already knows about the book. Put a thumbs up emoji here. Let me know if you're like, Josh, I know you got a book already. Put 2 thumbs up if you bought it. I want to know here, has anyone bought the book, or you guys just know about it right now? But yeah, so I put together a book, and I kind of asked in the panel, I said, I've spoken to a lot of parents as well as, teens and young people in my audience. And a lot of parents are like, oh, I don't want my kids knowing about dating. I don't want my kids knowing about relationships. I don't want them asking those kinds of questions. But the truth is, it's like, you guys are here asking these questions. You exist. These are things on your mind. These are things you're concerned with. So I think a lot of parents are out of the loop. A lot of parents are probably nervous. Think things through, and I've spoken to a lot of you guys. You guys are smart. You're not, you're very with it. You get what's going on, and I just want to help. Oh, someone's angry. I just want to help bridge the gap between parents and you guys, so you guys can communicate better. Let's see. Emma McKenzie says, Josh, please answer this. I'm being bullied and feel like I'm not needed or wanted in this world. I want to know how to deal with it. What do you think I should do? That's a really good question, Emma. First and foremost, I want you to know that you are wanted and you are needed. Like, I mentioned this several times in the past, guys, and I think it's important to reiterate here, is that, every single one of you brings such a unique perspective to the table. Like, think about it like this. Like, I've spoken to thousands of you guys through DMs, through the comment section on my videos, on Snapchat, Instagram, all these different places. I've spoken to thousands of you guys, and I can't say 2 of you carry the same perspective on anything. Every single person carries their own unique experience and perspective in this world. And it's exactly what you guys bring to the table. So Emma, if you feel like you're being bullied, people are belittling you and making you feel like you don't matter, you do matter. You matter so much. You matter to the people around you. You matter to your friends. You matter to your family. And most importantly, you matter to this world because you carry something here that no one else does. It's your own experience and your own life. So when people come down on you and make fun of you for things, remember that they're not pointing out flaws with you. They're pointing out flaws with themselves. And the main flaw that they're struggling with is they don't have the power to accept others. And that's something we have to learn, and it's something we have to work on. A lot of people struggle with that. They don't know how to accept others for who they are. So they tend to belittle them or make them feel bad because it's easier to deflect, to not pay attention to where they need to grow and to focus on where other people need to work on themselves. Finch Gaming says, "Hey Josh, I've recently been thinking about my old crush, and I don't know how if I should have a crush on her again." Let's see. I'm friends with her though. Yeah, I mean, if you had a crush on her a while back and things just didn't work out, maybe she only saw you as a friend, or she kind of felt like, I'm just not interested, I don't really want to do that. I think that if you are asking if you should continue to pursue her, probably not. It might make more sense to kind of focus on new people. A lot of times we want to hold on to our crushes, but when things aren't going anywhere, it's kind of a lot of mental energy and time spent in an area where it's not going to produce anything for us. We're not going to get closer to them. So I think that you should probably move on, try to develop new crushes, and the way that you go about doing that is just to talk to different people, talk to new people, interact, get out there, meet other people in your classroom. If you're sitting in class, turn to the person next to you and say, "Hey, I don't think we've ever talked before. Tell me a little bit about yourself." Share some facts with them. Share some things that you're interested in. You might not already know that you connect. You might not know what you guys can potentially connect over. Oh man, saying things on the fly, get all tongue-tied. Proclone says, "Emma, don't make the mistake I did, which is not standing up for myself and had self-respect. 6 years later, and here I am. I never got bullied after that. No one looked down on me anymore." Yeah, definitely. It's so important to stand up for yourself. And there's ways to stand up for yourself without being rude or mean or sinking to their level, right? So if a person is calling you names and just saying really, really mean stuff to you, there are ways to kind of communicate the fact that you want them to stop without resorting to the same kind of tactics they are, which is being rude and mean. And the best way to do that is to just flip it on them. Flip the conversation and say, "Hey, is everything okay? You seem a little upset about something. Is something bothering you?" Just keep flipping the conversation on them, and hopefully they can open up and be honest and realize, wow, I'm being a jerk right now. I shouldn't be doing this. Let's see. Hulk Smash says, "Josh, my crush said she doesn't love me, and I'm so sad." I'm sorry to hear that, Hulk Smash. Yeah, it's difficult when your crush doesn't feel the same way about you that you do. It's not an easy thing to experience, but I think that the best thing is that it's a learning opportunity for you. And the way that you can learn from that experience really is to kind of think about what is it that maybe didn't work out here. Is it because you didn't approach in a way that was friendly enough, or maybe you didn't connect with her enough for her to feel comfortable around you? Try to think of the different ways that you can kind of improve your own behavior and work on things so that the next time around you can do better. Let's see. Alexander Arroyo says, what to do if you have a bad reputation? It's a good question, Alexander. If you have a bad reputation, it might be because you've done something or said something. Maybe there's rumors spreading around about you. So there's a lot of reasons why someone may have a bad reputation. And I think the best thing to do is, if you want to kind of change people's perspective of you, you need to work on connecting with them on an individual level, right? So think about the specific people that you feel you want to view you in a different light, and really get to know them better. Because the more that they get to learn about you, the more they're going to see that, hey, you're actually not that person who I thought you were. They're going to start to see that a bad reputation isn't a definition of who you are. So you really want to try to think about that. Temporary account says, "I'm struggling to get a condom underage. Any tips?" I mean, one thing you may want to do is, in your school, some schools may offer condoms for free. So you may want to look into that. Talk to the school counselor, talk to the school nurse they may have on hand. Yeah, I mean, it's tough because you run into this issue where you may need condoms and you don't want to ask your parents about it. I think it's that if you're sneaking around to get them, I think it might be important to talk to your parents about it first. Because if something were to go wrong, you'd have to tell them, and trust me, they would be 10 times angrier afterwards rather than before. So it's something you may want to consider and think about. Let's see. These things, because I really like this girl and she's my best friend. My friend told me that she likes me. She doesn't want to ruin our friendship. What should I do? Can I DM you on Instagram? Sure, yeah, shoot me a message, anyone. I'm kind of behind on messages on Instagram. I have hundreds of messages just sitting there. I haven't got to them yet, but I'm going to do my best, guys, I promise. Dino Zilla says, how do you deal with people who constantly complain and blame everyone but themselves? I dealt with these people, but scroll again. I dealt with these people a lot, and they make me feel uncomfortable and afraid to voice my opinion. Yeah, that's a good question. People who are unwilling to take responsibility for their actions, unwilling to reflect on what they've done to see how they can make improvements and changes in their lives. I think when you run into those type of situations, it kind of becomes a waste of your time to try to convince them to take ownership of what they've done. The best thing you can do is to tell yourself is like, is this the best use of my time? Should I really be doing this? Should I really be talking to them? Should I really be trying to convince them? If the answer ends up being no, then it's no. And maybe from there, what you just really should do is you just really should kind of accept that, hey, this is kind of a lost cause. My energy is better spent somewhere else. Danny Ram says, can you beatbox at all? I cannot beatbox. I've tried it several times, I just can't. It's not one of my skills. Justin says, hey Josh, I'm graduating 8th grade tonight. Can you make a video about talking to your crush at graduation? That's a good question. That's a good one. I've done a few videos on graduation. I've never done one on talking to your crush at graduation, but here would be my advice. Because you guys are sharing this monumental moment together, you're both graduating. By the way, congratulations. I just want to say that, congratulations. Because you guys are sharing this moment together, that is your opportunity to speak to her. You just walk up to her and say, hey, I just want to say congrats, like we did it, and go to give her a high five, like connect on that level. And you can always follow up and just ask her and say, what are you doing after graduation? Or what are you doing next week? Or what are you doing during the summer? And just really get a conversation going based on what are the next steps. Share what you're planning on doing next, and then ask them what they're doing next. The movie Raider. So your ex is kind of intervening on liking another girl or maybe getting close to her. I think in a situation like that, the very best thing to do is you have to talk to her one-on-one. Right? Like you can try avoiding her, ignoring her, but if she doesn't get that she's interfering, she's never going to stop. You definitely have to talk to her, and you don't have to do it in a rude kind of way. I think if you do it in a rude kind of way, you might make it harder because she may spitefully want to like